Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast, Vlogcast. As always, we got Shimer and myself, and then today we have our super amazing friend, Miss Kristin Connor, who is currently you're in Brooklyn? Where do you live?
I'm in Queens now, but
You're in Queens. Yeah.
I'm on the border of Queens and Brooklyn. Yes.
Yeah, but you tested positive for the coronavirus, and you're just now, like today, starting to feel better. Essentially, is what
Yeah.
you're telling us before we started.
Yes, I tested positive. So I started getting sick on about March 19th. Actually, the crazy thing is I self-quarantined for the whole week, maybe week and a half before I got sick, and I have no idea where I got this from. I mean, I was like so safe. I wore a mask, I wore gloves. I went to the store maybe once or twice, stayed away from people, went to the laundromat, maybe I got it there. No clue. And then Thursday, March 19th, I woke up with a weird dry throat, scratchy throat. And then by that evening, I had a fever of 103 and was just like floor. I mean, I could not do anything. It was impossible for me to get out of bed. And that was for over 2 weeks.
And just straight fever, fighting fevers off, and the whole thing, huh?
Fighting fever. So the fever hit, and then that lasted probably, it was like such a roller coaster. It literally would kind of start to go away, and I'd get a little hope, and then the next day it would just come back worse, where it's just like, I'm going to die from this thing. I really at points was like, okay, this thing's going to kill me. I cannot do anything. The fever lasted for 3 days with intense, like severe body pain where it felt like I got in a car accident. I couldn't move my back. I couldn't move my chest, my arms. I had a headache that just felt like somebody was like crushing my head in a vice. I had extreme fatigue where I couldn't open my eyes. I mean, like to the point where I was so sick for 2 weeks, I never turned the TV on once. I couldn't do it. I was sleeping about 18 hours. Yeah. 18 hours a day sleeping to just get through it. And then I had nausea, and like severe nausea, gastrointestinal issues. Yeah. And then couldn't eat. And then day 3, I lost my sense of smell and taste, which I thought was from the coronavirus test, because they stick a swab like 2 inches up your sinus cavity, and then I was like, oh,
swab it around. I saw a video of the test. I was like, that doesn't look good. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's really intense. And so I got tested about 2 days in, and they tested me for the flu. She was convinced that I didn't have the coronavirus, and she tested me for the flu first, and that came back within 15 minutes negative. And then she was like, okay, I'll do the coronavirus test, which came back later, but they called me the next day and they're like, no, you absolutely have this, but it's going to take a little bit longer for the test to come in. But then it was only a few days.
That's so crazy. And 2 weeks of that, essentially. Like, really?
2 weeks. So the then the fever went away. And then that's when the like really, really absurd fatigue set in, and the nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, couldn't see, like couldn't focus, couldn't think. And then on top of that, like just panic attacks. I could not listen to people. Kept sending me things about the news, about what was going on, because New York City is it's falling apart around us. It is bizarre and just really fucking sad. But I had to stop looking at the news, because I was like, I'm part of the statistic now. So, they're like, people are dying. There's like hundreds of people dying daily. And I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah. You don't want to look at stuff like that.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's wild.
Did you get any treatment or anything like that? Did they
didn't
give you
say
any, like, did they give you anything to do after you found out? No? Just good luck?
Basically, they said, please don't go to the hospital unless you are literally about to die. The hospitals are so overwhelmed right now, and there's really nothing we can do for you there that you can't do at home. Thankfully, I didn't have any of the breathing issues. I was really fortunate, because I just kept every day waking up and then like taking some deep rest just to make sure I was okay. No pain, nothing, except for my bones, where it just from, I guess, the fever. Yeah, I mean, like,
that's crazy.
Beyond achy. It felt like I fell out of a truck.
Yeah. Wow.
Awful.
That's so crazy. I mean, so take us back to like, you said you quarantined yourself for a week before, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so that would have been like early March, the first week in March, or the second week in March, maybe the beginning of it, right?
I'm pretty sure it was the March 11th. It was my last day of work, was Wednesday the 11th, and at that point was like, okay, this is like bad, but it's doable. We're gonna get through this. And I was taking it seriously, but just kind of being like, okay, let's wait it out at home. We'll see what happens.
We talked to my buddy Drew a while ago, he's in Manhattan, and we talked about the New York pride for like how like your guys' immune systems are gnarly, like for the amount of germs you're exposed to, and
oh my God.
He was almost 100%. Saying he had the same mentality, like, fuck it, we're New York, dude.
I know. Totally. Like I'm on the subway every day. There's no way I'm getting sick. And I take care of kids. I'm like, my immune system's perfect.
Oh yeah, you're a warrior,
Oh man. Yeah, no, I was wrong. And now James has it, my boyfriend, who he's fine. His symptoms are completely different than mine.
Yeah.
And he did he get tested for it? Or is it just
he didn't get tested. He's too sick to leave the house now, but he lost his sense of smell and taste, and they're like, oh, he's got it.
That's so weird, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, so have you seen, you ended up going to the hospital though? Is that what you ended up doing?
I went to my doctor's office and they tested me there, and they just said, you're young, you're healthy. I'm like, I'm fucking 40. I'm young, but I'm like, am I going to make it through this? 70. Because some people are 20 and they're not making it.
Dude, I read about Adam Schlesinger. That it was a big deal.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Half of it.
Yeah, he had like no underlying health problems.
I mean, there's a bunch of people dying in their late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah, 100%, and 20s. I mean, 20s, teens, and it's like, they're saying like if you have weak lungs or you vape or I don't know about smoking a bunch of weed, but smoking cigarettes, and so that's fucking scary because everybody I know smokes weed.
Yeah.
So you're like, what? What's it gonna do? Who's it gonna hit? Who's it gonna get harder? James is fine. He's got like a really annoying cough, but it's in like right in here. And
wait, is it annoying for you to listen to or annoying to him to have?
It's annoying for him to have. It's definitely terrifying for me to listen to. Every time he fucking coughs, I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay? Like he'll cough and my stress level just goes through the roof. I'm like, do we need to go to the doctor? And then he's, checks his breathing and he's like, I'm okay.
Yeah.
He's fatigued. Same thing. He had the fever in the beginning, went away, just came back today.
How's his mental? Because he's normally, we know James, but he's known for being a real happy-go-lucky guy. So
he's so fucking chill, dude. He is he's making me look like a total asshole because I was sick. He's just like, it sucks, but I'm going to get through. But I'm like, dude, yours is so much more mellow than mine, but it hit you differently. It's in your throat and like kind of in his lungs, but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just playing video games and like dealing with it the way he's being James about it, where I'm like, okay, well, it makes me feel better because he's doing okay.
Yeah.
So you said that you work with kids. Did anybody, like, after you got the coronavirus, did this have any kind of like did you tell the parents that you worked with?
Yeah.
Obviously you did. Did they go and get did they take it upon themselves to go get tested, or did they kind of
It is impossible to get a test now. So I don't know how I got it. I was able to call and just say like my symptoms, and they were like, yeah, come in Saturday. We'll test you. I was like, whoa, I've heard that it's really impossible to get a test. So I got in there, and honestly, the day that I got in, the CDC changed the rules, and the doctor, I had never met her before, like was yelling at me. I got in a full yelling match with the doctor, and I was like, I'm not leaving here without a test. I made it all the way over here. I don't feel good. She was convinced that I didn't have it. And then after like me yelling and just being like, stop, give me the test, she gave it to me finally. But it's near impossible to get a test now. You have to be like, I have a friend who has it right now, and he's got the breathing issues. He says he feels like he's breathing at about 25% of his normal breathing. Yeah. And it's really, really scary. And he's just keeps going back to the emergency room, keeps going back to the doctor, and they're like, no, you're fine, go home. You just have, bronchitis or whatever. He's like, I'm going to die from this. He's okay still, but he's doing what happened to me, which is like, I think I'm better. Oh, fuck, I'm fucking sick again. Okay, I think I'm better. So he's been going through it for about 2 weeks as well. And they will not test him. And they won't even let him in the ER. They won't admit him.
Yeah, wow. Do you see that, like, there's a difference in outbreak reach and level, like, in the different boroughs over there at all, or that you know of? Or does it seem to be more concentrated in a certain area? Or?
It seems like, so Queens is huge. And
yeah, it is huge, yeah.
So I think, and I know that Queens has the most results. So that's the other thing. Like, when you look at the statistics, you're only looking at who's been tested, right? And most people have it and aren't able to get tested. So we really don't know who has it, where, and what, what's going on. But Queens has the most. Manhattan, I thought, probably Staten Island has the least because it's small, but I think Manhattan's actually lower than Queens and Brooklyn, and it's the most populated. I don't know why. I don't know if that's because of the lack of testing or people have been better at staying indoors. I seriously doubt it. But Queens is number one. We're number one, which is fun.
Woo! New York.
Good to be number one at something. Yeah.
Have you noticed, like, obviously you've been home and you've been staying inside a lot.
Yeah.
Like, looking out your window, do you notice people out and about? Are you live near a park? Do you notice?
Yes.
Have you seen anything of, like,
all of it? People are fucking assholes. So a lot of people most people are taking it seriously, it seems like now at this point, but still not 100%. There's still people on the street. There's still runners. I get it. I know you want to run. Put a fucking mask on. You're now sweating and breathing heavily in my face walking by. I hope I'm okay at this point, but I don't know. Like, we still don't know if, like, I'm going to be able to get it again. It's a virus. I shouldn't be able to get it again. Who knows though, they don't have answers. But there is a park around the corner from my house. There's just 20s. It's usually like teens and 20s all hanging out in giant groups. There's a bunch of fucking neighborhood kids who I'm about to beat the shit out of, who are riding their bikes up and down the street and purposely coughing on people and going, I have coronavirus. I don't think they do. Who knows if they do though, because some people don't show symptoms.
Yeah.
So little fucking hood kids in my neighborhood are fucking like destroying everybody's will to live and like mindset. It's crazy. And then you have people that are completely masked up, gloved up, and taking it extremely seriously. I haven't seen my neighbors in weeks. Everybody's being pretty good about it,
Yeah, it's just so crazy. It's so crazy when you hear the stories of, our buddy was telling us that at 7:00 they do, everyone in Manhattan, it seems, or even New York, like, does the clapping
applauds
thing.
Yeah,
so that's pretty amazing, like
it's
so as
very
far
touching.
As little kids being dickheads, which is it's happening everywhere. The coughing on people corona thing is pretty new to me, as far as I hear.
I mean, we like to take it
New York.
It really does. It's got a little New York touch to it. Yeah, we really like to take it above and beyond around here.
It's so like kids level fucking.
I know.
I love it, man.
I saw one kid do it once, and I was just like, "Oh no, I will stick a stick in your freaking tire next time you ride by me."
Oh, you little shit, man.
Yeah.
It's like, can't you just knock my trash cans over?
I know.
That'd be
seriously.
better, I think.
Absolutely, totally.
Yeah.
Party outside my window. I don't give a fuck. It's totally fine with me.
Yeah.
But there's still groups of people that are hanging out. There's still people that are like not understanding either not understanding the severity of it, or just doing well, I'm healthy and it's not gonna affect me, or maybe they think they already got it, so they're okay. I have no idea. It is very, very, very real.
I think it's the mentality of not thinking about other people. And like, we all hit that phase. Mm-hmm. We've all hit that phase in life where like no one knows, and some people don't grow out of it.
Yeah.
And some people are in the middle of it. And, and that's what I think it is, because everyone, like, I even have arguments with some people I know that, like, not really arguments, but like, they kind of go like, yeah, but like the flu and this and that. And I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're trying to say you can't just hang out at home and like maybe like all the like when I look at the numbers, I think that like right now there's all those people that are gonna die this week aren't dead.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and in 3 weeks, all the people that are going to be dead don't even know they're sick, aren't even sick right now.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
like, it's very cut and dry right there.
Yeah,
You know?
it's very bizarre. There's a lot of misinformation, which is hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird conspiracy theories that I'm starting to look at where I'm like, what? This is
Whoa.
really a thing?
Yeah.
Did you see the guy? Did you see the train guy in California? Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay.
No.
Oh.
So a guy driving a train down in San Pedro
Yes.
basically believed that the conductor, he believed that the medical boat
The
wasn't there.
USS Mercy, the hospital
Yeah,
boat
the medical boat
that they
that
pulled
came
into
up,
our harbor.
believed
Yeah.
that it wasn't there for the reason that they say it's there, and he basically rammed the train through the end of the tracks trying to hit the boat.
He derailed. Yeah, he derailed
Derailed.
the train and tried to get through a whole parking lot and
No,
landed
he got through
100
he
yards
got through one
from
parking
the
lot.
boat.
He got through one parking lot, and I want to say like crossed the street and almost got through another parking lot and then stopped.
Where was this at? In
San
LA?
Pedro, down in the heart, the port of
Yeah,
LA.
in the heart and the port of LA, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
crazy,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah,
That's when you turn a tinfoil hat into a tinfoil pipe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Like, what's the point? Why are you so angry?
It's
Dude.
crazy, like that, like what people, like how people think of, like how people will like look at things just to make it this weird thing of like everything's against you and it's all a lie, like, and the government's here to control you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah, I had to turn off the news. I've been really good about not looking at the news, which I feel like I'm kind of an asshole about because I should be up to date, but I just can't.
but at some point you can't. It's
I'm
it's
like, there's not
impossible.
enough. Yeah, I don't know how much more information I need. I went
You
through
don't.
it. I know it's real. I just
stay home.
staying home. Yeah, staying home,
That's
staying
all.
out of everybody's business and waiting for it to get through. I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I asked my buddy, how do you feel the mayor and the city has actually handled everything? Do you think they're trying their best? It's a shit show. I mean,
I think that they're trying now.
mhm.
I don't think that they did anything quick enough to begin with, or else this wouldn't have gotten this bad. I mean, also Trump, you know, great guy. He really fucking came through on this and just destroyed the CDC before anything ever hit. So we didn't even have the manpower to control it. But at this point, I mean, our mayor is an idiot. So he's trying to do something now. People love Governor Cuomo though, and I like him a lot more than I used to like him because he's getting a lot more done.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's better than Trump. So like, if you're gonna get your information, the guy's not a liar. He's at least like, you know. But before any of this went down, he was kind of a piece of shit. But I'm like, you know what? I gotta just go with who's got the right information. He's trying, and he really is trying, and he really is like, seems to be really caring about the city and trying to make it better, and that's promising. So
Yeah. I mean, there's 1,000 different ways to blame the government and the officials for being shit. You know, but like it does, when someone really does step up in a time like this, we're seeing right now who is capable of handling real emergency and
absolutely,
and you know what I mean? And there's like, you know, I don't really, our guy, you know, he seems like a good dude, you know, politically it's one way or the other, but he's really been like pretty plain and
Gavin
simple,
Newsom
stepped up, you know what I mean? Like
he's been pretty awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean,
he was my mayor when I lived in San Francisco.
Yeah. He was the mayor of San Francisco. He's like, any politician is questionable.
Yeah.
100%.
I think the need to want to be one makes you questionable.
But Gavin Newsom,
knowing what it is, you know.
He's been good.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. But it's cool. It's cool to see that everyone, you know, and it's cool to see that everyone seems to be like really thinking like, okay, there are people trying their hardest. You see who's really trying to help and not, you know what I mean? So how do you feel like, so now that you're like a couple of days feeling better, and you know a couple of people that have had it or whatever, you've been in contact with them, but like, do you see you guys getting out of this in the next month, 2 months? I mean, what do you feel? How do you feel right now?
no idea. I mean, I have no clue what's going to happen here. It's what you're hearing on the news. So there's like constantly breaking news going on, right? I'm sure that's everywhere. And it's just like everything, every time I see the news going on, it's just prepare for April. It's going to be like, this is going to be the worst month of this whole thing. Expect to see thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people dying. You know, most of the people that you know are going to get sick. Now we have the USS Comfort or whatever. We have a ship in our harbor as well that's trying to take on, and I don't think that it's taking on anybody with. Yeah, they're just clearing out the hospitals, putting them on the ship, which sounds horrendous to me because I get so seasick. I cannot imagine being sick on a fucking boat. But I mean, I guess if you're getting some kind of medical care, you gotta just take it.
I'm sure you wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah. So they're just anticipating all the hospitals being at maximum capacity. We're out of respirators. We're out of ventilators, which is really, really scary. And some people are saying by June it should be fine. Some people are saying they think like August. Some people say, oh, well, summer's going to hit and it's going to go away and then it'll be back in the fall. You know, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know who's getting their information where. I don't know if any of this is true.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that unless we really hunker down and stay at home and let this thing pass, it's not going to go anywhere. Could be months, you know?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm like, how do I get the fuck out of New York City? Should I move back to Ohio? I mean, it seems pretty safe there. I don't really know.
Do it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's scary here.
I mean, it's not going to be nearly as bad as LA or New York, you know what I mean? But that's what they're telling us the same shit here. You know, prepare for April to be the peak. Yeah. We'll be lucky to be out of it by May or June, you know what I mean? But and I wanted to ask like too, because you know, us even like seeing what you guys are going through over there, like we all have like serious. I have anxiety because I have a mom with cancer and 3 young kids, and you know, as much as kids are immune to it, they're really not. You know what I mean?
No, nobody is.
Like, how are you dealing with like you said you even mentioned you might even have like PTSD like from it.
Oh my God, I have insane anxiety. I feel like at any time so every morning I wake up still, and I started feeling better about 3 days ago. Feeling better, I was like a little bit. I was able to sit up. Like I sat up in bed. I tried to do Instagram posts just to tell everybody I was alive. And even that post I sat like where I was like, I'm up, I'm okay. I'm still really sick. That night I was back down harder than before.
Oh, really?
And I didn't want to say anything to anybody because I was just like, I feel like I'm going to jinx it anytime I say I'm all right. And the next day I was a little bit better. By April Fool's Day, I was like, okay, I think this thing is passing. And I would wake up in the morning and I'd feel okay. And I didn't want to sit up because anytime I sat up, it would just like everything would come back. So there were points where I would just lay in bed for hours in the morning crying because I was like, I just don't want this to keep going. Right. So by the first I sat up, I remember I was like, oh my God, I think I'm okay. And I sat on the couch like the whole day and I was able to eat and drink water and like didn't have a raging headache, but then anytime I just kind of fell off or like my head, it was weird. My head was so tingly the whole time. It just felt like I was like, the room was spinning. I was really dizzy. Anytime I'd get a little hint of that, I'd go into a full panic attack. I mean, like couldn't breathe, was just like, oh my God, I don't know if this thing's going to fucking come back again. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, dude.
I was living off Tylenol and Xanax for the past like 2.5 weeks. It was the only thing that got me through. Thank God for Xanax.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah,
it's living off vodka and whiskey. So
yeah.
I haven't had a drink of coffee or booze in like 3 weeks.
Hell of a
That's
detox.
saying a lot about me too. And I love my booze and my coffee. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I'm like looking at you guys drinking beer. I'm like, fuck, that looks so good.
I know.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just wait this one out. Make sure my body is.
All right. Live to fight another day.
Yeah.
I keep saying we're gonna survive Corona, but we're gonna die from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what it seems like. I mean, everybody's just like, man, there's no time anymore. Time is it's just a construct. I wake up drinking booze. I drink coffee at night. Who fucking cares?
I literally, I I live next door to a Starbucks right now, and I'd stand out in my front yard, and I just like there's cars pulling into Starbucks at 7 p.m. and I'm just like, you don't need coffee at 7 p.m.
I know.
What are you gonna go do?
Yeah, they're like, we're just trying to get out of our house. We're going anywhere we can.
And there's me, the crotchety old punk rock dude, telling everyone to get on their lawns.
Yeah, good job. No, you are allowed to do that.
Get on your lawn.
Get on your lawn.
Dude, we should totally make like fucking shirts of that, dude. You know what I mean? Get on your lawn.
I am completely. Yes, good. I'm behind it. Tell people to go home. Tell people to get on their lawn. Tell people to get the fuck out of crowds. Put on a mask. Wash your hands. Just quarantine.
Well, out here, I'm sure you know, but parks, beaches, everything's closed down.
Oh, it did finally.
Trails,
yeah, they closed everything.
All the trails are closed down.
As of Friday.
I think LA. I'm pretty sure. I don't know how Ventura did.
LA too.
LA cut down all the closed down all the farmers markets because they were letting farmers markets stay open.
Yeah. Guess what? We just got our parks closed. Actually, I take that back. We only got playgrounds closed. We have parks open still. That's how we're taking it seriously over here. I'm like, people are dying left and right.
Yeah.
But make sure you keep the fucking parks open so people can sit on top of each other.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Yeah, you guys are doing it right. I mean, if you can just have a government that's going to do it early, who cares? Fucking just stay inside. Ticket people, I don't give a fuck. You will see a major change compared to what has happened here.
Yeah. I mean, the numbers in California are a lot different than New York or Louisiana.
Oh, the numbers everywhere are different than New York. It's crumbling. Everything around me is crumbling. It is crazy, and I can't go outside and see it, but it's extremely quiet, which is very, very nice, and it's good to hear. But then
a quiet New York is probably nuts.
It is wild. Have you seen the photos of freaking Times Square? It's empty.
Yeah.
Makes me when I go in there.
Yeah. Well, we've been seeing over here. We see pictures of Vegas. You know what I mean? And like, Vegas completely empty is wild, dude.
Yeah,
that's a mind-blowing picture. You know,
I've had to talk myself out of sheer boredom driving to Vegas.
Oh yeah,
to see it.
Drive through it. Just to drive through it, just so I could be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And drive home.
Oh, absolutely. If I had a car, I would drive through Times Square, but
yeah. But then also
sitting right here. Have you seen the photos of Vegas where they're just putting 6 feet apart boxes in parking lots and making the homeless sleep in that instead of letting them in their hotel?
Oh,
that's fun.
No, that's nice.
Can't put them in a hotel.
No, God forbid.
Yeah, that's not surprising. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Not surprising at all. What so now that you have come out of it, what do you plan to do to keep yourself busy?
What are you watching?
I mean, after James gets
What are you watching on Netflix?
Yeah, what are you watching on Netflix?
So I refuse to watch Tiger King.
Have you seen Tiger King?
I'm not. I can't. You guys, you know how I am with animals. I can't watch a caged animal.
No animals get hurt in it at all.
On the camera.
Well,
you know that guy's motherfucker to those tigers.
Yeah.
I really like. Actually, I feel like I should watch it because every goddamn meme online, I'm like, what does this mean? Who's this Carol lady?
Look,
I have no clue. I have no idea what's going on with that.
You know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's a very touchy subject. I believe very much in animal rights and
right, of course.
But like for human consumption of trash, pretty damn good.
Really? Okay, I'll give it a shot. I feel like I'm like lost in a weird world that hasn't seen it.
It's one of those things where like you watch the first episode and you're like, holy shit. Like,
really?
Like I've had people tell me they've had to watch it twice because they thought the first time they were watching it, they thought the whole thing was fake.
Really?
It's almost like a parody. It's how
they thought the whole thing was made up. They're like, there's no way this is real. And I'm like, there's no way this is not anything but real.
Yeah.
Where does it take place?
Oklahoma.
Oh.
Yeah. It's got so many things up your alley. It's
I know. Right the only one is like, oh man, I'm such a freaking like, I do so much animal rescue here, and I'm like, I can't handle people caging fucking wild animals. But
the cool thing is
that,
no one looks like a hero at all in that documentary. It's like it's not good for any of them. You know what I mean? Like you're like every one of them, you're all, woo, that's some weird shit, buddy. You know, there's no one looks cool in that thing, dude.
Okay. Okay,
Like,
I'll give it a shot.
You'd love it, dude.
Okay,
It's good
good.
for
Yeah, I
PETA
need.
lovers and animal
Bag
rights.
of messes, you'll love that show.
Okay, I'll give it a
That's
shot.
cool.
I've been watching. I haven't really been watching. I started rewatching The Wire. Such a good show. Yeah. Fucking depressing though. Like I forgot how real, just dark that show is.
It's
but
dark.
and it just gets darker.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Every
it's good. I guess
season.
that that's something nice, uplifting to watch while you're trying to heal.
Have you guys noticed also when you watch stuff and people like high five or hug, you're all, oh, it like just gives you full anxiety?
I've been watching, like right now I'm watching an old Lakers game from like 2010 and they're all like hugging.
Yeah, sweating on each other. You see the spit flying out of their mouths when they're talking and you're like,
I'm like, man, remember when times were good?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago when everything was fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, I'm glad you're
So we got Tiger King and we can get you on. What else are you watching? Anything else besides The Wire? That's it, huh?
Well, I moved in November to a new place. Like I said, and we have a backyard now. So I have a bird feeder and a bird bath, and I've been really watching that. I also have 2 stray cats in my backyard. Nice. So I'm basically watching like Animal Planet this direction.
Yeah.
And then
is it your own private backyard? Like you don't share it with anybody?
We share it with these guys right here, but we never see them. They're awesome. They're just like a sweet couple. Yeah. That's so cool. We gonna get a couple lawn chairs out there.
Yeah, do some sunbathing.
Summer of my life.
Every time your neighbor walks out and be all, I had Corona.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I had Corona. My backyard now.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the next. That's gonna be the next season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Instead of like I got Corona, and everyone will be like, oh,
no.
100%.
I told that.
He's gonna continue wearing a mask when everyone else doesn't have to wear a mask. He'll just be like, I have Corona.
Corona, man. Late in the game. Late Corona, dude. I got I saw me and my boy have been doing like I've never walked my neighborhood so much in my entire life, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so he wanted to skate ahead of me the other day, and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I skate home?" I said, "Yeah, bro." You know, but everyone's always so paranoid about kidnappers or whatever, you know. Right. And he's like, "Well, what if my wife's got him? You know, Rosie's got him as paranoid as he could possibly be."
Good,
you know?
Of course, yeah.
He's like, "What if someone says something to me?" I said, "Just cough on him, dude. Cough on him and yell Corona." And they will run from you.
I mean, honestly, most people
right now
hit
him
like,
in the head with the skateboard as hard as you can.
Kids are the silent carrier of it. So I think you're really safe right now. Your kids can be out and about, and people are like, "Don't go near them. Don't go near them." Those kids are carrying it. They're asymptomatic. They're gonna fucking take us all down.
I think we had it. We had every one of us got a weird fucking thing, a different
totally
version.
Possible.
Yeah, dude, I think we had it. But we're on we're on day 20 of quarantine.
Oh my God.
Right now. Just to
I don't even know what day it is. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got to work from home and all these things, but I don't really, but you know, like I said, you know, that PTSD, that the stress, you know, it's like every time I breathe, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And then also, real. I wanted to ask, is at any time, did your nipples lactate?
They did not, but I don't know
mine started today, dude, and I'm like having a fucking panic attack. I'm like, Rosie, I have fucking breast cancer or coronavirus. What is this? You know,
tell the CDC. It might be a hidden symptom that you don't know about, like the smell and taste thing.
Yeah, like you lose your smell and taste. Your nutsack might swell up to the size of fucking watermelons, and then also male nipple lactation. Literally a dollop. I had a dollop.
Wow.
What is that?
I don't know. I'm going to ask James if he noticed anything going on with me, because I was 100% out of it. I don't know what day, time. It was like.
Maybe this is just like, what is it? Like, I can't think of the words. I'm stoned. It's evolution. We're evolving.
Oh, yeah.
Coronavirus is causing men
no, literally, like
when everyone's able to come back together, men will start getting pregnant.
Oh my God, I would fucking be so pumped if that was the case.
Oh, it's gonna spread my seed everywhere. Fuck for days.
You know, it'd be even better if guys were like, "It ain't that bad."
It ain't that bad.
You guys complained a lot about this.
It's fucking fine, man. I mean, my butthole's all blown out, but what?
Complained about too. I'd be complaining. I'd be like, oh hell.
Oh, I'd be dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
There
would be no babies.
It would be so fun to watch.
There would be no babies like at all.
Abortion would be legal immediately.
Yeah, like someone made a joke about getting them at a liquor store if men had babies. I can't remember who it was, but
absolutely.
Dude, you'd get one on the corner on your way to the gym, or something like that.
Absolutely, with a pack of cigarettes.
Babies, the men getting into Planned Parenthood would look at the line getting into Trader Joe's.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, anyway. That's crazy. Well, I'm so glad you're feeling better. That's amazing.
Yes.
Thanks so much for doing this. I hope James is doing, he'll get through it.
He'll get through it. He's going to be fine. He's okay. It's just that, anticipating it. Is it going to be gone today, tomorrow, in a week, in 2 weeks?
How far is he into it?
He got sick on Monday the 23rd, so about 4 days after me. So he's 4 days behind me. Mine lasted I got sick March 19th, and I was like, okay, it's over now, and I'm just getting better. And that was on the 1st.
Wow.
That was Wednesday, right? Wednesday. Yeah. And so
he's a few days behind you at least.
He's a few days behind. So on Monday will be 2 weeks for him. Mm-hmm. And then if he does anything like me, he probably has I don't want to say it loud, he's in the other room, I don't want him to hear it, but he probably has another week in him, I would guess.
Yeah.
I know. And at the end, it's like the worst, because you think it's gone and it comes back like triple.
Ugh,
I know.
Wild.
Be careful. Right. Everybody stay in. Don't get it. Be careful with your grandparents and your parents and anybody compromised. It's so freaking scary.
Yeah.
And it's just not fun. Even if you're healthy, apparently, like I thought I was healthy, I really thought I was going to die from this thing. So it's very real.
Yeah.
It's coming your way.
All right. Well, all right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. It's good to see you guys.
All right.